Hello and welcome to the episode of the Football History Boys on YouTube. Now today we're in our hometown of Cardiff and we're exploring the amazing history of Wales's capital city. We're starting where else at the home of Welsh football, the Cardiff City Stadium, celebrating 125 years of this fantastic football club. But before we go into here, we're going to have a look earlier in Welsh football history by going back in time to the 19th century. Records of football in Cardiff are relatively uncommon for the end of the 19th century, and unlike other cities throughout Britain which saw football clubs spring up in the 1860s, 70s and 80s, it was taken to the 1890s for Cardiff's real defining club to be born. Right, this might look like a normal house to everyone watch this video, but it's actually one of Cardiff's most hidden pieces of football history. It's actually where Cardiff City were formed back in 1899 under the name Riverside AFC by Bartley Wilson. Now, if you wonder why they're called Riverside, it's quite clear, as we are right next to the famous River Taff, and next to in the distance is the very incredible Millennium Stadium, or Principality Stadium as it's now known. Quite a shame there's no blue plaque on this house. They probably should do. Maybe we'll try and fix that up. Leaving Coldstream Terrace is just a short walk across to Sophia Gardens, where some of Cardiff's earliest football memories took place. It's actually very important to Cardiff City's football history. This is where Cardiff City Football Club, when they were known as Riverside AFC, actually played their first ever games. Here for quite a number of years until Millennium Park, of course, was built in 1909, and then the first games was played there in 1910. There's some fantastic football history here, not just cricket, so if you can, check it out. Of course, Cardiff didn't stay in Sophia Gardens for long. By 1910, their new ground was built on Sloper Road, Millennium Park. Now, this might just look like your average house estate, but it's actually the site of the former Ninian Park football stadium, and there's not much left to it. However, just below me here is a very nice little commemoration of the famous centre spot where every single match started in that famous stadium. So amazing Welsh international matches, some famous Cardiff City games as well. An absolutely outstanding stadium with incredible memories. In its prime, Ninian Park was one of British football's best football stadiums. An iconic ground, its terraces saw some incredible football moments. Probably most notable was Cardiff City's 1-0 victory over Real Madrid in 1971. Okay, so in 2009, Cardiff City left their famous home at Ninian Park to come to the new stadium behind this famous gate, the Cardiff City Stadium. The old gateway here is from the original Ninian Park, and it's left as a reminder to that famous ground. We're going to go through the gate and into the Cardiff City Stadium. Notably, on the right of the gate is a plaque dedicated to Scotland's former manager Jock Stein, who passed away at Ninian Park following Scotland's World Cup qualifier against Wales in 1985. And then it was on to the Cardiff City Stadium, which is celebrating 125 years of Cardiff City's history. We were allowed to walk through the tunnel and onto the pitch that has seen so many famous moments in the last 15 years. So, quite incredibly, we are here inside the Cardiff City Stadium, pitch side, looking at this incredible arena that has seen some fantastic moments in Welsh football history over the last decade or so. Not just Cardiff City, of course, who play here, which has seen their own fantastic moments, but of course we also have the Welsh football team. Famous games against Belgium, against Croatia, against Ukraine and Austria, seeing some players from all over the world play here. In particular, of course, Cardiff's own Gareth Bale, who scored a fantastic free kick just down that end of the pitch against Austria. We're going to have a look around the rest of the stadium now and see what we can see. I'm really looking forward to this one. All right, how are you feeling? Being in your home?
It's really strange seeing it from this angle. It's great. I sit over there, which is where we're heading now, which is the Canton stand. It's like the standing up section. But it's quite strange seeing it from this angle. And you're right, it's much bigger when you're down at pitch side. But some amazing moments here, you know, Peter Whittingham, club legends like that, Aaron Gunnarsson, obviously seeing Bale for Wales do some massive stuff over the years. So many great moments, so many rubbish moments as a Cardiff fan. So it's great to actually see the stadium. We've been here since about 2010, and I've seen so many games and so many disappointments, but so many amazing things to do as well.
Okay, so we are here by the Canton stand in the Cardiff City Stadium. It doesn't look like too much right now, but it is very famous Welsh football, as it is the home of the Welgoch, the Red Wall, which has got to be one of the best atmospheres in international football in the current time. So if you ever get a chance to go down to Cardiff and get a ticket for Wales, try and go into this stand because the atmosphere is absolutely sensational. But don't forget to wear your bucket hat. For a relatively recent stadium, the Cardiff City Stadium is a ground that really welcomes football history. As you walk through the corridors, you're greeted by images of international players that are played on the pitch. Likewise, we saw some reminders of the Cardiff City Stadium's biggest events globally, which are the 2014 Super Cup final and the 2017 Women's Champions League final. Amazingly, we were then allowed access into the changing rooms, the treatment rooms, and even, perhaps, our favourite part of the tour was the kit room, which saw football shirts from players across the UK and abroad that have played at this famous ground and even at the old Ninian Park.
You may see managers, after the game or players giving interviews, thinking it fills the whole wall. It's not actually. Spoiler it for the viewers. It's only the top half. It's only the top half.
Outside Cardiff City Stadium, something truly unmissable: the statue to former captain Fred Keenor. Keenor, a World War I veteran, would even captain Cardiff City to the famous 1927 FA Cup final victory. Leaving the Cardiff City Stadium was a very, very short drive over the road to Leckwith Stadium. Now, just across the road from the Cardiff City Stadium is Leckwith Stadium, or the new Leckwith Stadium. Now, the old one used to be where the current Cardiff City Stadium is, but now we have this new Cardiff International Sports Campus here. Incredible arena. It's seen some Cardiff City reserve games, also some Cardiff City friendlies as well, but more importantly has seen the Welsh women's team play here a number of times with some fantastic results in their history as well. Public use now. It's an amazing place, so if you've got a chance to come here, give it a go. Just down the road from Leckwith Stadium is one of Wales's most poignant reminders of one of their greatest managers and players, the mural for Gary Speed. Now, behind me is a famous mural to former Welsh manager and player Gary Speed, a footballer for Newcastle, for Leeds, for Bolton, for loads of different clubs, real Premier League legend. He spearheaded the revival in Welsh football fortunes with his introduction of young talent into the Wales squad and moving them across famously to Cardiff City Stadium as well. His work with them taken on, of course, by Chris Coleman, but this is here to remember the life of one of Wales's best ever players and best ever managers. Now, Cardiff is full of loads of football murals and we'll visit some more of them later in this video, but for us it was back into the town centre of Cardiff to visit the biggest stadium in Wales, the Millennium Stadium. Okay, so we're here at the Millennium Stadium, or the Principality Stadium as it's now known, a very famous football stadium and rugby stadium. Seen some amazing matches over its history, quite a relatively short history. For Wales, we've seen, of course, the famous victory over Italy when Craig Bellamy scored the winner in a 2-1 triumph in 2002. It is amazing. There's much more history to see, so let's see what we can find as we go around. So we are at the Millennium Stadium, and it is famous for rugby, but also has an amazing football history as well. It's not very old. As well as the Welsh games, as mentioned before, we also have some famous FA Cup finals for 2001 to 2006, notably the Michael Owen final 2001, the Gerrard final in 2006. It's also hosted the Champions League final in 2017 when Real Madrid beat Juventus 4-1. Playoff finals as well were played here. Cardiff City famously winning their playoff against QPR in 2003. But yeah, fantastic stadium. It's massive. It's 75,000 seats here. So if you ever get a chance to come to Wales, try and catch a game here. It's probably more likely to be rugby these days as we've moved over to the Cardiff City Stadium. But yeah. Leaving the Millennium Stadium and indeed the city centre, we ended up in Pontcanner playing fields where we found a mural dedicated to Cardiff's sporting greats. Okay, so a bit of hidden Welsh football history here at Pontcanner playing fields, especially if you're not from around here. This is the Gareth Bale mural on the wall of the changing rooms. We see now Pontcanner be used for Saturday morning and Sunday league football matches, but this is part of a wider wall with Colin Jackson, Sam Warburton and Tanya Gray-Thompson to really promote that Cardiff sporting history. And finally, it was over to Whitchurch for the last mural on this video, dedicated to Cardiff's own Gareth Bale. And finally, we're going to finish here with Gareth Bale's mural in a lovely suburb of Whitchurch, just opposite his old high school, Whitchurch High School. This is the Bale mural put up here in sort of the early 2010s, and a good memory of one of Wales's greatest ever players. And
I'll make it continue.
Ready? Right, so I think that's probably about where we'll finish this video. Hopefully you really enjoyed this whistle-stop tour of Cardiff's football history. We're all around the city. Hopefully there's a few more things to find. If you want us to go to any other cities around Britain, please let us know. We'll try and see what we can find and how we can get there and see what kind of hidden football history there is on offer. And if you really enjoyed that one, we'll see you again for the next one very soon.